Hello and welcome to UDN'S Marketing Solutions. Today is another episode on how to entice your sponsorships into your podcast. There are several ways that I use, and I feel that it's really important that you can use the same. We have a lot of times spent on creating content and gaining listeners and also sharing a lot of information for our audience. At the same time, you want to be compensated. So I have created a list of things that you can do in order to get sponsorships and advertising brand deals that you can actually get paid and also share their products and services on your podcast. So number one is I'm using Media Kit. Media Kit is really easily done. You can use Snapchat. Media Kit has a lot of dimensions that you can use. You need to really state why exactly an advertiser need to sponsor your show. So you need to see amount of followers you have, an amount of email subscribers that you have, amount of visitors to your website, amount of followers that you have across social media in total. I wouldn't really say how much in Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. I would just say in total social media subscribers, followers that you have. Number two is guest appearance. I have gone to create a script that I usually use to gain guest appearances. Perhaps it's easier for some people to get guest appearances for free, but I charge to get guest appearances. So I had accountants, I had car leasing, I had coaches, consultants, I had a social media marketing consultant, life coaches who were invited to my show and actually paid to be on my show in order for them to get their name out there. I use the script you can use also. It's in the description below. The link. I have really a success rate. I have explained what exactly my show is all about, who are my audience, based on analytics, whatever your analytics you have in your podcast. You can see the gender, the location, the demographics, how many people are listening. And on top of that, I also share my email subscribers, my promotion strategy that I use in order for them to see. I always say whenever I have a podcast and an episode that is published, it is being published in 33 different platforms. So that's kind of like giving them an opportunity to be 33 times visible out there. Now, another way I'm using is sponsorship through my email. Right now, as of today, I have 2,000 subscribers, and having them to sponsor my podcast, knowing that they are also sponsoring my email sponsored content. So whenever I send out to my listeners a new episode coming out, so I know that new guest that I'm gonna be shouting out is actually their contact information is going to be in the email, so that way people can convert into their customers. That's the value that I provide. Another way that I do suggest to do a sponsorship is create a red sponsored content. So let's say, for example, if I have an accountant coming to my show or cannot come to my show but would like a shout out, so I would create a script and I would read it during my podcast. I would read it either twice, which I call it as pre-roll. Pre-roll means in the beginning of the show, or mid-roll in the middle of the show, and post-roll. Post-roll I prefer not to do because you want retention for the podcast listeners, but not many are going to listen till the end. If the show is very short, let's say 5 minutes, then I would do a post-roll as well. So let's discuss about creating your brand out there in order for you to gain more sponsorship. First of all, you want to create a logo. A logo that I recommend is using a platform called Lookup. You can design a logo specifically to your podcast, something that resonates with your audience and yourself, and it's kind of stands out from the crowd, from the rest of the podcasters out there. The next thing you want to do is a website. So once you have the logo, you want to create a website. I recommend to use a bookmark Bookmark is really easily done. You can do one page just describing who you are, what you are. Upload your logo in there as well. Then the third thing I do is I create a contact. I use PandaDoc. Contract is usually done whenever I have a sponsor agreeing to be on the show, agreeing to sponsor. Then I lay out everything on the contract so they know what to expect, and it also looks professional. So you're not kind of like another podcaster there that's trying to make money, but you're actually working together in collaboration in order for them to get what they were promised. Then I do invoice. The invoice I send out with a contract is called QuickBooks. It's really easily managed. You just upload your logo, you upload the name and also the service, and that's it. And all they have to do is just click on it and agree to it, and the payment goes through. And then I create a script. I create a script with a contact. I use Evernote. You can use Process Street. Process Street is usually helps you to create checklists so that way you are not missing out anything and you keep yourself organized. And then I use Monday.com. Monday.com is kind of like helps me to create my plan so I can keep myself organized as needed. And if I have an editor, I share my goals and the script and also my voiceover in order for my editor to be able to see what's happening and where he is at, and everything just keeps organized and goes with the flow. I want also to mention that you can get your sponsorships also from Popcorn. That's a great website. A lot of brands are looking for podcasters that they can create ad to put their ads in there. If you meet their standards, if you meet their budget, then they will contact you and will work with you. I like to actually reach out to people who are franchise because their location is kind of like everywhere. So let's say McDonald's, Applebee's, Bloomingdale's, Burlington's, all of these kind of stores that are everywhere. So I'm in New York. I wouldn't want to attract only New York listeners. I want to attract nationwide. So having a brand nationwide is actually going to be helpful in order for me to determine and create an ad for them that will make sense for them to invest. So I'll see you next time. Let me know in the comments what exactly your podcast is about. I would love to hear from you, and also would love to know what strategies you're using in order to gain your sponsorships. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.